I'm back. Thank you. You can't get rid of me.
What was it like being an elected officer, and what did you take from the experience?
I would say that every day is not the same.
No 2 days are the same.
That's the right saying.
Yeah. No 2 days are the same in the job, and you learn so much, not only about the role, about student unions, about universities and higher education stuff, but you learn a lot about yourself as well. And I think that was my biggest takeaway, is that I learned that I can actually do things that I didn't think I was able to do.
Yeah.
If 18-year-old Jess, when I first started uni, looked at me and went, oh, you're going to become vice president one day, I'd have laughed in their face. I'd have gone, absolutely not, no chance, mate. And then there I was for 2 years running, going crazy, advocating for the people.
It's interesting. It's fun. It's not rainbows and all of
No.
that, and you
Some
do have
days
those
are,
times, but
yeah.
there's some you create the most amazing memories and skills that will hopefully support you when you go into like your future career.
Yeah.
So it's always it's really beneficial.
I think it's the best thing that I've ever done.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I went for it. And Sarah said to me, because I wasn't too sure about running a second time around, and she said to me, she was like, I've only known people to regret not running. I've never known someone regret running for their SAB role.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest takeaway that everyone should ever have.
I think for me it was like a once in a lifetime opportunity, like I've said that before, because being a mature student and kind of going into nursing, that there might not be that future opportunity to come back to university, especially that I didn't really think I was ever going to go to university. So it was kind of like, why not? The opportunity's there. You're going to earn skills, and by campaigning as well, that's really good. So yeah, that's why I ran for the role. And obviously because if it wasn't, like, I was involved from the Students' Union pretty much like from
The get-go.
like my first couple of weeks, and I just wanted to be a part of the amazing things that the Students' Union does.
Yeah, I think for me, my first 2 years was so interrupted. My first year was interrupted with COVID. My second year was interrupted with COVID. I couldn't experience the SU to its fullest. And so in my third year, when I really got my teeth stuck into it all, I was like, you know what? This place offers so much support, and I want to be able to add to that. I want to say that, yeah, I'm part of the reason that this SU is so amazing. And I had ideas and I had things that I wanted to do, and I did them. And it was like, whoa, like when you're stood on the stage, you'll find it this year. When you're stood on the stage in your final year of being a SAB, Union Awards, and you're reflecting on everything that you've achieved, it's like, what on earth have I just done? Because 2 years isn't a long time, but
No.
you achieve so much, and it's like, whoa.
And you don't realise until
No.
like you're literally about to kind of leave. So if you do have the opportunity to do 2 years,
Yeah.
Even in the first year, like you think, oh wow. When you sit down with others and you start talking about kind of putting what you'd like to let students know, like how the year has gone, you're kind of like, wow, look
Yeah.
what we've like done, and
Yeah.
you start remembering all the things, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, if you are someone that wants to make a difference
Yeah.
in anything, whether it's make a difference within higher education, you have a big idea like that, or it's just a small difference, for example, giving the smaller societies a bigger opportunity to be heard, or if it's something to do with sustainability or something to do with employment, if you have an idea and you feel like you can make a change, which if you've got the idea, you definitely can make a change, go for it.
Yeah.
100%.
What was some of the biggest challenges you faced as an elected officer, and how did you overcome them?
Paper writing. So as an elected officer, you sit on these big university committees with all of these adults. And although you are an adult yourself, these are adults. So I'm just a mere child sat here, but I'm delivering a 5-page document on everything the SU's doing with regards to a certain topic, and everything that I'm doing, everything that my fellow elected officers are doing. And you're sat trying to prove your case sometimes, or prove that actually what the SU is doing is amazing work, to all of these massively powerful adults, it's petrifying the first couple of times you do it. As soon as I found my voice, I thought, these guys are just little ants. I'm the real deal in this room. Then
That's
boom.
a good one.
Yeah. I found, like, I did. The first few times I was like, nope. I'm going to keep quiet. I'm going to just... And then someone said something in one of those meetings that annoyed me. And that was it. Couldn't shut me up.
I think you do find challenges everywhere as well. So, like, even challenges within like the student community, because you can't, you try to cater for as much as possible, and
Yeah.
you want to do as much as possible for everyone, but you can't always necessarily make every single person happy. You want to, but you know there might be an event that on that week that they might not want to take part in or something like that. So it's just kind of trying to be like adaptable, but also you do experience the challenges with that. I think everything with anything you do, there will be some challenges that come along. It's just kind of knowing that in this kind of role, you're not alone.
Yeah.
You have such good individuals around you.
You have your
and
other
their
elected
expertise
officers, and then you have all the other SU staff with
Yeah.
all of their expertise.
Yeah.
You're never on your own.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
What advice would you give to someone thinking about running for an elected officer role?
There will be some challenges that come along. It's just kind of knowing that in this kind of role, you're not alone.
Yeah.
You have such good individuals around you.
You have your
and
other
their
elected
expertise
officers, and then you have all the other SU staff with
Yeah.
all of their expertise.
Yeah.
You're never on your own.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
What advice would you give to someone thinking about running?
Do it. Do it. Do it. Just do it.
I think it's also just kind of really think about it as well, because if there's a doubt of whether you want to do it or not, definitely do it.
Yeah.
And I think that you want to kind of think about what kind of things you want to bring or what ideas you have, your manifesto, how you'd like to campaign. But also, I think it's just the fact of just talking to people. Mm-hmm. So talk to that representation team or any of the SU staff. And I think just know that you're not going to be put into situations and be left alone. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Is that it is a team, and you work with the other elected officers really closely, and you'll always have each other's support and backing. So just do it.
Yeah. I think it's so important to know why you're running.
Yeah.
And it's that one idea that you've got, even if it's just one campaign that you have, one campaign idea, one change you want to make, have that and stick by your guns, stick by your beliefs, and stick by why you are running. If somebody else is running for the same role as you and they have an idea and you go, oh, that's a really good idea, okay, I'm going to bandwagon on that, I'm going to use that. Don't. Because all you'll be seen as is a copycat. And people don't want that. They want an individual who stands up for themselves and stands up for the people around them. And so use your own ideas and your own creativity, because that is what's going to get you to the finish line.
And I also think that you've got to be selfish.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean you're a selfish person, but if you're going to know people that are probably running in the same, for the same role, or other people in different other roles, but this is what you can take from it, and what this is to further yourself. So you do have to be. I think it's really important. There's nothing wrong with being a bit selfish with it.
Elections are a really difficult thing to do. It's not like a job interview.
Yeah.
You have hustings. That's kind of like a mass job interview. But elections, it's all about getting yourself out there, speaking to as many students as you can, and making sure that your voice is heard, because your voice, if you win, is going to be what stands up for all of these students across all of these campuses. And if they don't see you from the day one, which is the first day of putting in your nomination and campaigning, then they're not going to understand why you're running for it. And that's the biggest thing with students, is allowing them to understand why you're doing things, or why a bus journeys had to be cut in half.
Yeah.
It's helping them to understand why. Why have drinks prices had to go up in the lounge? Helping them to understand why, and it's the exact same with elections. Helping them to understand why you deserve to be their number one vote.
Yeah, I personally think campaign week is probably one of the most important things that
Yeah.
well, it is the most important thing that you will do, apart from hustings, because that obviously you want to any questions and you can sit there and you can present like what
Yeah.
you really want to do, but that's going out. You're campaigning, you've got the opportunity to go to as many students as you possibly can at all campuses.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really important.
And I think don't be scared to campaign either.
Yeah.
If you do something wrong, there's rules and things when campaigning for elections, but if you do something wrong, unless you've done something blatantly, like you should know you've done it wrong.
Yeah, please don't take down other candidates'
Yeah.
posters.
Like if you
or
know
anything
you're
like that.
doing wrong, you're gonna get penalised. But
Yeah.
if you genuinely don't know that you've done something wrong,
Yeah.
like, or if you don't know if something you want to do is wrong, ask. You'll just have a general conversation of, look, Pookie, it's been correct. And it's fine. Everybody makes mistakes. Being an election candidate in any election is the hardest thing that you will ever do. And just live with it.
Yeah.
Go with it. Follow your gut. Follow your heart.
But have some fun.
And have fun with it. Get a good team behind you
Yeah.
who's going to support you, even if it's just a few of your best mates.
Yeah.
But get that big team behind you that's going to start going to every single person that they see. Have you voted? Have you voted number one for this person? Have you voted number one for this person? And boom.
And take some time for yourself as well. So I remember in my campaign week is I tried to do something a little bit different for self-care, like
Yeah.
in the evening. So whether that was going swimming or whether I just kind of knew I needed to have an early night, just make sure, because you'll get to the end of the week and it will be like you haven't slept.
Yeah.
Even though you have, well, I hope you would, but it will feel like that because
Yeah,
it is draining.
it does.
But just make sure you take some time for yourself.
Yeah, I definitely think having that campaign team behind you as well helps, because come 9 o'clock when you get home, your campaign team can do it all for you. They can post on their stories, they can be texting in their group chats, etc. And you actually can go, right, I'm in safe hands now, I can switch off and have some me time.
Yeah.
But elections are difficult. It's a really difficult thing to do, because there could be 5 of you which are the best candidates, and it's not in the people that you're going to actually be working with's hands. It's in the hands of thousands of students who sometimes don't know what they want. They don't know
Yeah.
what they want to see.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to go, this is what you want to see. Vote for me.
One thing you wish you had known before standing for an elected officer position.
Oh.
To be honest, I think it's really well prepared. You have such a big opportunity to talk to the representation team or get as much information as you want before you kind of can put your nomination in. And then even when you have, you can go to where they prepare you for campaigning. They talk about a lot of things. You can ask all the questions.
Yeah.
I think for me, I think it's the unknown question is like, I seem to ask people what campaigning was like for them, but I think it's the wrong thing, because everybody will experience campaign week very differently.
Yeah.
So for me, I just don't think there was anything because I feel like there was always someone there that if you had a question, they would answer
Yeah.
it.
I
would
wish
like
I'd known who was going to win beforehand. That would have been a little less stressful for me. But no, I think I don't know. I think I just kind of went in it head first and hoped for the best, which might not be how everybody works. But yeah, I mean, it worked for me. But I think ask questions. As Amy said, there's so many people that you can ask questions. I mean, I'm still around. You can come and speak to me if you fancy it. Amy's here. You can speak to Amy. Don't be afraid to speak to the other SABs.
Yeah.
I think that was, the other officers.
That's all right.
I think, even if the current ones are going to rerun, go and speak to them, because they have the hands-on experience for this year, like the year just gone, and potentially you're going to be taken over from them. That's the harsh reality. This job, if you get it, you're only ever guaranteed it for a year. And even at that point, you're not fully guaranteed it until after elections.
Yeah.
And so if you don't go into it asking every single question that you could have asked, not knowing 100% what you're wanting to do with the role, maybe not 100%, like 80% knowing what you want to do with the role, and not going in with an open mind and a willingness to change and adapt, then there is no point going for it, because you have not prepared yourself. It's like going to a job interview and not knowing what the job interview's for, like not knowing what the business does. It's the exact same with elections. Go in with all the answers and being prepared for yourself, and you'll have a breeze.
Yeah.
And then you'll have the best time ever being an
Yeah.
elected officer yourself.